everyone, and today we're going to talk to you about a great project we have here with Theatre Tulsa. It's called Tell Me a Story. And joining me today to discuss the project, we have Sara Phoenix, who is the artistic director here at Theatre Tulsa, as well as Jarrod Kopp, our executive director. So I'll turn it over to them, and then after they explain the program and the project, we'll have some questions that we have submitted that we will get to see the answers. So Sara, please let us know.
Yeah, so we're super excited about this brand new project we're doing with Theatre Tulsa. It kind of came about several months ago when I was talking with some of my fellow artistic director colleagues that are running theaters in other places. And one of them was kind of talking about how she wanted to really connect with the community and use this time during this pandemic when we're not producing to do something kind of different. And she wanted to collect stories from her community and craft them into some sort of performance online. Well, I kind of shared this idea with Jarrod, and we kind of started talking about how we can make it work for Tulsa, and kind of created our own project now. From that genesis of that idea, we've gone a little bit further, and Tell Me a Story is going to be a really exciting project. Jarrod, do you want to explain kind of what we're doing?
Well, the idea with Tell Me a Story is we're going to start with this core story, a true story that happened to individuals, and then we're going to match that story to a writer who's going to help convert it into a theater piece. But then we're going to take it a step further and match that theater piece to a director and a cast that's going to actually bring it to life on stage. And so you're going to see not just the storytelling aspect, but the adaptation of it into something that an audience will enjoy.
And it's not going to be performed in like a traditional setting, like in a theater. We're actually looking at it being a progressive a performance opportunity for small groups to be able to travel through a space and visit each performance in an evening.
The idea would be, rather than have to sit in a space next to each other in an enclosed space and breathe each other's air, now we're going to break up the performances into these spaces and let people visit each performance space masked and socially distanced throughout the night so that they can all feel safe while enjoying live theater again.
Wow, that sounds really awesome. So we do have some questions though, because as we came up with this program, there's questions that we thought that people would want to know the answer to, or just myself talking to people, they've asked me. And so I wanted to give a chance and give space to answer some of these questions. So the first question I have is it my whole life story?
No, it doesn't have to be your whole life story. It can be just an incident or an anecdote. It could be a small conversation you had with someone, and the writer could expand on that in many different ways, whether that's what you guys were thinking internally or what happened before or after. It does not need to be the whole life story, but just a simple story that happened to you.
Okay, well, what makes a good story, Jarrod?
I would say something unique or interesting. Everyone's lives are unique, and that's what we're trying to tap into here, is the uniqueness of each person's life. And then it also helps if there's some sort of a goal or an objective they're trying to achieve, and some sort of conflict that keeps them from that objective and how they overcame it. That's classic storytelling.
There you go. Okay.
That's the Joseph Campbell stuff right there.
There you go. And we are performing it here in Tulsa, but do I have to live in Tulsa to be involved with this project?
No, absolutely not. And that's the beauty of it, is you could submit your story from anywhere in the world, and we're looking for those stories, not only from those here in Tulsa, but across the globe.
And does thank you, Sara. Sara, do these stories have a time limit on them?
No, not at all. I think eventually, once those stories are connected to a writer, there may be some curating involved there from the writer's standpoint, and so it could be edited down, and we may be looking at time limits as we work into the performance phase. But as far as giving us your story, no, not at all. Bring it.
Bring it.
Okay. It could be short and lively. It could be epic. And that's part of the fun of it, is you may have a story that you've remembered for years and years, but then we're going to see how other people interpret it and turn it into something entertaining that other people can enjoy. And so there may be structural changes to it that you may not have thought of in your own retelling of your story.
Brings me to my next question, but Jarrod, does it have to be true? Does that be a true?
Yes.
Okay.
We want true stories. We're not interested in doing fictional works here. We want these to be actual true stories that happen to you personally. We're looking for primary sources here, as they say in history.
So, okay, if I have a story, what if I have a great story, but it took place in 5 minutes, right? Or are you looking for, can we submit that? Or are you looking for like a longer story, longer scope or timeline? Like what kind of, give me some ideas of the timeline you're looking at.
I think we want variety. So I think it could be a snippet of a conversation that you had or something that happened just very quickly and maybe then how it impacted you. Or it could be something a little longer and more involved. I mean, we really want to stay open and we're really excited to hear and see what we can get.
And we could see something, in say a 10-minute piece, it could happen in real time, or it could be in 10 minutes, we could cover years of experience that happened to you tied to this story. The scope can be anything. And so we're looking for anything and everything in that regard.
And like you said, you tell us a story. It's not your job after telling a story and how we're going to cultivate it. The writers, the directors, and they have a responsibility too. So it's going to be an interesting take on how we do things. But question about the content level. Does it need to be, say, rated PG or PG-13? What kind of content are we looking for?
I'm not looking to restrict anything at this point. So our audience members tend to be more mature. And so I don't feel like that a storyteller needs to limit themselves or censor themselves in any way.
Sound good. So Sara, what if I submit a story and then I'm like, you know what? I have a different one, a better one. Can I submit more than one time?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Consider more than one.
All right. Sounds good. So Jarrod, how can I know we can go on the website, theatretulsa.org/tellmeastory. Is there anywhere else they can find the information? Facebook, social media?
Absolutely. We have it on our website, pretty prominently displayed. We also do have events on our Facebook page, Instagram, and our Twitter feed. We give updates on it on a regular basis. And I'd recommend following us or liking us in any of those locations. We also have a newsletter as well, an email newsletter that goes out every Wednesday. And so if you sign up for that, you'll get regular updates there as well.
Awesome. Okay. Well, you've heard it here. Tell me a story. Tell us your story. Any last words, Sara or Jarrod, on this?
No, I'm just super excited and I invite everyone to come and join us as either a storyteller or a writer or a director. It's going to be a wonderful project this fall for Theatre Tulsa.
Awesome. Thank you.
She said.
What she said, right. Thank you all very much. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned to all the great things Theatre Tulsa has in store for you. It's gonna, we're adapting to all the changes, but we haven't forgot about you, and we're here to make sure that you're taken care of, and we still are bringing you great quality and educational entertainment. So from Abumu Kabam, Jarrod and Sara, thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.